When it comes to speaking facts, you know I'm true clutch. I'm brutally honest, don't hold back, but I gotta do such. Had berries this morning. It was nice. I call it blue brunch. Thank moms at airports. With these fighters, y'all doing too much. Yeah, baby, yeah, man. You're doing too much when you guys talk about these fighters. You know, dude, these are the best fighters in the world. Imagine they go against the champion, right? Shut up. Bro, stop doing this, guys. I don't like the narratives that run with certain fighters in the UFC, guys. And I feel like I have to call out the most overrated fighters heading into 2026. And there's a couple of them. And some of them are like overrated in the sense that they're really good, but you guys overrate them to crazy extents. Matter of fact, every single fighter I go through in this list for the most part, they're really good. But you guys are overrated them to a crazy extent, which just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to explain why I think they're overrated. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, they're overrated, and not explain why. You're going to get explanation in this video, guys. Starting off with the flyweight division, we're starting off pretty strong in my opinion. Oh, Steve Erceg, guys. Like, let me just be straight up with you and Steve Erceg. He's not that good to me, you know. Like, he was the one who did it. Kenny, how you gonna pick Kai Car-France over Pantoja? Yes, I was mean Kai Car-France. We have an alliance, you know, a little bit. I like the guy. You respect him, you know. I train with him and Izzy sometimes. But I think Kai Car-France knocking out Steve Erceg like gaslit me into thinking, oh, Erceg's gonna go in there and knock out Pantoja. When styles make fights and they're such a different style, like Erceg's chin's so high in the air. It's like he wants to get knocked out. And I've started to notice that, especially with his recent fights. And I just feel like, dude, he's not as good as I thought. He nearly got knocked out by short notice Audie Osborne. Like, Audie Osborne stepped up in a couple days and like went in there and nearly knocked him out in the first round as well. And think about that. Imagine he just chinned Steve Erceg in the first round. Then what's your career look like now? He also had a close fight with Pantoja, guys. And this is part of the reason I knew Van was going to beat Pantoja. Of course, the fight didn't happen. You aren't technically right. I was right. But it just didn't. I didn't get to show how right I was. Didn't get to show how right I was, you know, but I was right. But yeah, guys, with this one, it's just like he has like competitive fights with people who aren't that good. I don't think Audie Osborne's all that good. I think he's quick, yes, but as far as like championship caliber, no way. His chin's just too high, guys. He's very hittable, and I just think he's a little bit overrated. I know Bedtime's gonna see this like, dude, come on, dude. But he's my cowabunga buddy. You know, we go hit the waves. Listen, brother, Bedtime, go hit the waves with him. Or this is kind of this. I don't know if this is Bedtime or this is Bedtime's cousin. You know, I don't think Bedtime's jacking him as much now that he's getting chinned. You know, I'm not trying to take shots. I just don't think he jack him as much, maybe, brother. I don't understand this, but I think Steve Erceg is overrated for flyweight. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but this is my opinion. I hope you understand. From flyweight, we're gonna go on to bantamweight. Hot take, a really big hot take. Peter Yan. Now, like I said in the start of the video, people are gonna like swipe through. They're not gonna listen to what I'm saying. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he said Peter Yan." Let me go to the comments. Oh, rage, baby. That's what people are gonna do because they don't actually listen to takes. I don't think Peter Yan's bad. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's a top 3 bantamweight alive right now. I just think he's overrated. Now, when I say the word overrated, I think you guys are rating him to a crazy extent. He just struggled with Marcus McGee. But getting Marcus McGee's a fucking tank, dude. Look what he did to Marab. Fuck. And then what they're trying to do, like, forget that fight, though. Look at Marab. Guys, he had a great game plan against Marab. But I want people to know it was a really good game plan versus a really poor game plan. Marab fought the worst game plan possible. Marab fought the same game plan he did against Sugar Sean O'Malley the first time. I brought this up. People don't really know what I mean. When Marab's circling at the first couple rounds and he like shoots in and a takedown either scores or he doesn't. That worked against Sugar because he shot in against Sugar after circling. He would actually take Sugar down and kind of bully him. But when he did that circling thing and then would try to shoot into Peter Yan, Yan's takedown defense were too good. So then by the time Marab started changing that approach and started trying to walk him down in the later rounds, he wasn't expecting Yan to have really good endurance. And Yan's ring generalship in this fight, guys. Like, I feel like his ring generalship was carried. I feel like he had a good understanding of Marab after being there with him. So him taking away the center of the ring from Marab early, like his game plan was just superior to Marab. So I feel like it was a clash of game plans. Great win. But I see after this one, oh, dude, he's going to kill Umar. Umar's going to be, oh, my God. And I like it. And I know 90% of you in the comments think Jan's going to school Umar. I know you do because you're overrating him. You think he's better. You think he's better than what he is. But Kenny, like, he did that to Marab. Didn't Marab beat Umar? And doesn't MMA math always make sense? So Jan's then going to... I know what people think or how they think, so I understand why you're overrating him. I wouldn't even mind people saying it's a competitive fight, but the narrative isn't it's competitive. It's Yan destroys him. Honestly, I'm on the contrary, guys. I don't believe it's that competitive. I think it's going to be competitive in the sense that Yan's never going to go anywhere, but I think Umar actually was outskill Peter Yan. I feel like people are like, but Marab couldn't take him down. Umar's going to be okay with being at kicking range in his 1-2 range, and then he's going to mix in the takedowns. What makes Umar a lot more different than Marab that I feel like people don't quite understand yet is that Umar's a good striker. People might think Merab's not a bad striker, but Umar striking and Merab aren't even comparable. You guys think Merab could strike with Umar for 25 minutes? Like, Umar would kill that dude. Almost knocked him out in the first 2 rounds. Matter of fact, Umar dominated the first 2 rounds in his fight against Merab better than Jan did, but people aren't going to remember that. People aren't going to even realize that because people, like I said, people don't look at facts. They just think, to this day, people still think Merab smoked Umar, and it doesn't make sense to me, but I'm sure like the people who don't watch the fight, maybe watch the highlights or just follow narratives, they probably had never even watched the fight, and they're like, oh yeah, didn't Merab smoke Umar 50-45? Sure, believe that. I don't care what you believe. That's your opinion because you don't watch footage, you don't follow the sport. I follow sport. I watch footage. So Umar's striking is significantly better to the point where I know he's going to actually be outstriking Jan in this fight. But like I said, I'm not going to say too much because I know 90% of people in the world disagree with me, and that's fine. But if they ever get the fight, I can't wait to see how much Umar outclasses him. Umar's going to outskill him, guys. Like I said, Jan's okay. Jan's great. He's a talented opponent, but this guy's not going to destroy Umar. And that was a great win against Merab, but you guys are overrating him as a fighter. He's still a skilled fighter, but if you think he's going to do this to Umar and do this to everyone else, you have another thing coming, guys. Jan's great. He's a champion, but I do think he's still being actively overrated. Doesn't mean he's a bad fighter. So, like, I know you guys are like, why are the comments saying you're calling Jan bad? I'm not, but they're going to run with that narrative because they don't listen to IQ, brother. Moving on from Peter Yan because he's still a great fighter. We're going to talk about featherweight weight class. And I think this guy's not that good, to be honest. Like, Lerone Murphy, he kind of fluked Aaron Pico. And I'm one of those people who picked Lerone Murphy, as well as people like Diego Lopez. When I picked Diego Lopez to beat Gene Silva, I low-key felt like my pick, I kind of got lucky in a sense because the spinning elbows. Now, if you actually watch back the Pico fight, Pico's putting a really good pace on him. And like it seemed like Lerone was very flustered and uncomfortable there. But then he timed the spinning elbow to perfection. Yeah, timed it for perfection, man. The 47-year-old prospect, yeah, baby, yeah. Lerone Murphy, yes, man. What a timing. And I remember I was celebrating that, but like deep down, I was like, holy shit. Lerone's so mid. Like, his best win really is the Emmett win, guys. So he was kind of circling the whole time, finding his shots. Didn't really engage with Emmett. But, like, he fought the smart fight, whether you think it's boring or not. But I don't think Lerone's that skilled. I know he's pushing for the title fight. Hopefully he doesn't fight Movsar because he's going to get exposed pretty bad. I just don't think he's as good as some people think he is. I don't think people think he's that good anyways. Actually, like, I feel like it's kind of a running joke that he's, like, just an old prospect who's not that good. What? You're too slow, Bala. You're too slow, Movsar. I don't know. He probably doesn't even sound like that. He reminds me of like Leon Edwards. I don't know what it is about him. I guess black UK guy, but he reminds me of Leon Edwards so much. Even to the point where like, I just think they both aren't that good. So Lerone's, I have nothing against him, respect to this guy, but I don't think he's as good as a lot of people think he is, guys. So every time I look at Lerone Murphy, I kind of scoff him, like, oh, here comes this guy, the 49-year-old prospect, the 57-year-old prospect, like the 64-year-old prospect on the way up, 77. All right, let me stop. But guys, he's just old and like he's getting the prospect label, but he's not good. He's never gonna touch a belt, in my opinion. I think Lerone Murphy's overrated. Moving on from featherweight, we're gonna go a little bit lightweights, and this one's a big one for me. Paddy Pimblett. He's so, I don't want to say bad, I can't say bad because they're going to come at me in the comments. He's not good though, like he's not good. His best win is his losing streak against beating Michael Chandler on a losing streak. Or okay, maybe Bobby Green on a losing streak. What do you want? Like, what do you want me to say, guys? Who's his best win? Getting a robbery victory over Jared Gordon, maybe, it's just a Monkey King beating him. He's so bad. His striking is so subpar and his grappling's overrated. People think he's some kind of grappling guru because he fucking submitted King Green. Who does that to King Green? I think people are forgetting like the lack of fight IQ King Green had to like shoot a takedown on him and then get submitted, knowing Bobby Green has really zero grappling. Like, who is this? Come on, chat. You guys aren't really objective. He's just goofy, guys. Like, I know he's pushing for the Ilya fight and he swears, oh my, even the Justin Gaethje fight, chat, the Gaethje fight, I don't think it's what you think it is. I think what you think is incorrect if you think what I think if it's what you're thinking. Because I think what you're thinking has something to do with the thinking of the thought process through the Justin Gaethje is going to struggle if you thought that I thought you'd think that. But, but dead ass, I'm being so serious, guys. I just don't feel as if he's even going to beat Justin Gaethje. And I was going back and forth about this, I was pondering in my room. I was, the stroking of the goatee, like look up, down a little bit and like ponder. I really was. And I'm still pondering right now as I speak aloud. But I look at Paddy, I look at Gaethje, and I heard him say something recently like he's going to stand there and he's going to trade with him like an ego. Listen, Paddy, listen. trade with Justin Gaethje, see what happens. You just don't have the power. You never even went in there against someone competitive. Like, Michael Chandler was beating you up for the first 3 minutes, and then he fatigued. Justin Gaethje was not going to fatigue as a Michael Chandler. Yes, Gaethje is still old, so I understand Patty has the age advantage like he does every single fight. You know, beating up 40-year-old Green and 40-year-old Ferguson and 40-year-old Chandler. All these guys beating up all the 40-year-olds. I get it. Like, and I'm going to applaud it because you're good at beating up old people, but even though Gaethje's a little bit old too, I think he has more of a dog. I think Fiziev, who even lost to Gaethje, would still beat Patty. I don't think Patty's as good as you guys think, man. And I think he's overrated. And I don't know how much people are going to agree with this. I know there's a mix. This is like mixed. A lot of people agree. Some people are like, nah, dude, he could even smoke Ilya. He could actually get Ilya. Like, the Ilya fight for me, like, how do I explain this to people? The Ilya fight for me, I don't think it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think it's like that fight shouldn't be legalized in a fighting. Why? How is that? We can't let this guy fight, you know. Like, I'm being dead ass. Like, that fight, it's not good for his health. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I think Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is going to be more competitive than that fight. I swear to God, I'm not even being sarcastic, you know. That's for a different story before the Jake Paul haters come in like, I hate you, Kenny. Whatever. I don't think Fatty's good. I think if he gets booked against Ilya, it's sanctioned attempted murder. So the UFC should get flagged and in trouble for that. But moving on from Ilya, because this might be a little bit, not Ilya, moving on from Patty, we're getting to the welterweight division. Another hot take from me, I believe. Michael Morales. Now, he's good. Like, I don't want you guys to think I think he's bad. He's good. Like I said, some of these people are good, but I think overrated. He's a size monger with power. Like, he's just bigger size-wise than a lot of these guys. And he carries some good power in his hands. So I understand why people think he's that good, but he's just really athletic with power, and he's bigger than everyone else. Yes, he weighs in at 200 pounds. He's huge. I get that. But every other prospect, in my opinion, is better. I think Gary beats him. I think Prates beats him. I think Shavkat beats him. I think every other prospect is just more intriguing than him. I think he gets a lot of eyes because of the Sean Brady fight. And he did surprise me in the Sean Brady fight. He surprised me as well as I think Sean Brady surprised me of being so hesitant to shoot a takedown. You know, because him and Sean Brady actually weigh the same. Like, they both weigh like around 200 on fight night. You know, I know Sean Brady, when he got him down, he would have been able to like control him really well. But I know he has lackluster cardio because the way he fights, his explosive fight style is just not going to last you a long period of time. Even Tom Aspinall, like, people, I always say this, like, people like that who like explode into everything, they got about 5 minutes to knock you out. And if they don't, GG's, bro. So I don't think he's that good. I feel like he's going to be another Abus Magomedov, comes out explosive, but once he gets put in the second round for the first time, they're like, wait, why were we hyping this guy up? Like, I feel like he's not going to just gas and like keep fighting. I think he's gonna be one of those bad gases where he's almost like a punching bag. Maybe like, I'm not gonna say Zabit because Zabit didn't quite do that. Zabit was still fight while being tired. Bro, like, kind of like in a boost, or like maybe even Michael Pereira, you know, some of these Dagestanis we see, like Saeed Nurmagomedov, sometimes, like, when they get tired, like, I feel like he's just going to be a punching bag. That's how I really see him. But time will tell with that. He's just, for such a big guy who's cutting a lot of weight, like, who fights that explosive, bigger guys who cut a lot of weight, naturally, the cardio might be a little bit sus, but when you're cutting a lot of weight and you fight so explosive, I just believe more so that cardio is going to be sus. So this is more like of what I believe. You know, people are going to have mixed opinions about this. People think he's going to beat Islam. It's like, I don't know to laugh at that, because I can laugh at it now. They could act like it's competitive now, but if Islam goes in there, just takes him down, and then he realizes this guy has no cardio, gets submitted in like 2 rounds, like, oh, well, this guy was not good anyways. Okay, so what? Islam beat Michael Morales. Who's that? That's why I want Islam to fight a proven guy like Usman, man. I know that's a hot take, but I just know when Islam like disposes of someone like this, he's not getting credit, dude. This zesty boy, bro. Like, he ain't getting no credit for being the zest fest, bro. He's gonna beat him. Oh, well, you know, they're gonna make excuses. So I don't care to see him fight Islam. If they really want to see the fight, sure, book it. I'm gonna switch my opinion on Morales. I'm gonna try to gas up the fight just to gaslight people that he's gonna do crazy things for Islam legacy. But right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll be real. When Islam beats him, or if that fight happens, Islam beats him, it does nothing for Islam. Soon people are going to know what I mean by Mike Morales. He's very athletic. Just don't think he has the cardio to back up that athleticism for that size and that weight class. But moving on from Michael Morales, we're going to middleweight. I got Brendan Allen. I just said he just matched up well with RDR. I feel like everyone's glassing up the RDR fight. I feel like RDR fight was a little bit more of a fraud check to RDR, who like uses a lot of strength. Kind of went back to the RDR that looked like in the GM3 fight when GM3 nearly beat RDR, but he ends up getting the submission because GM3 fatigues. Brendan Allen just didn't fatigue, survived the 1 round of him just using all his brute strength to holding on to him, and he beat RDR, you know. And then his win over Victoria was his only other win recently, and Victoria just loses to everyone, But yeah, he got smoked by Anthony Hernandez. There's some reversals there, but he's just a little bit overrated. I hate like people in my chat said they think Brendan Allen beats Izzy, and I get like it's probably funny to say, and I'm getting like a 90% that comes like, yeah, he does beat Izzy. My point, listen, book Allen versus Izzy, see what happens. I'm sure that after Izzy beats him, okay, you beat Brendan Allen, so what? But listen, I like that. I like that. If that's Izzy's next fight, like I want people to keep overrating Brendan Allen. Maybe I'm gonna, if Izzy gets booked against him, maybe I'm gonna flip my script like, yeah, dude, this guy's a tank, dude, just so I could celebrate the win. But listen, I just think he's a little bit overrated in my opinion. I just don't think he's that good. He doesn't really stand out to me. Yeah, you could beat people like Victory. You could beat people who fatigue like RDR, who's like on multiple fights, like a multiple fights in a row. I think that's like his 5th fight of the year, 4th fight, 5th fight. So yeah, he's not bad. I just don't think he's as good as some people making him out to be. That's why I have him in the middleweight. Moving on to light heavyweight, I got Killer Roundtree. Great 2-round fighter. That's it. Like, great 2-round fighter. He's cooked in any main event. If Killer Roundtree gets booked in a main event against someone who's like adequate, he's not gonna win. If he gets booked in a championship fight against a champion, he's never gonna win. If the rounds say 5, it's questionable. If the rounds say 3, it's interesting if he can survive. Like in the Yuri fight, I predicted that fight perfectly. I said the only reason this fight's 50-50 for me is because it's 3 rounds. But the reason I went Yuri is because I said Khalil's gonna win the first 2, and then Yuri's gonna break him in the 3rd. Exactly what happened is what I said. And yeah, it's with every fighter. Like, he's gonna start well. You know, he can still win 3-round fights if he's going against people without power. Like if it's not Ink Alive, not Yeri, not Pereira, not just anyone who, if it's not anyone who's adequate, like in the light heavyweight division, like Uberg probably beats him as well because Uberg was stick and move in a 5-rounder. You know, Khalil just has really good 2 rounds, but that's about it. I think he's still a good fighter because I feel like 2 rounds is good enough. If you're going against a 3-round fight against like a non-ranked light heavyweight or a very mid light heavyweight, you'll probably get the win. But I guess for a championship caliber, like this is one of Pereira's hardest fights, best wins, but I don't think he's even that good of a fighter. One of Yeri's best wins on paper, but I don't think Khalil's all that good, man. He's not bad. I just don't think he's as good as people think he is. I think he's just a 2-round fighter at best, and that's about it. He beats mid people, he loses to good people. That's my take on Khalil Roundtree. I didn't know he was going to beat Jamal Hill, by the way. The only reason I called that is because the stylistic difference, and I knew his leg kicks were going to destroy Jamal Hill, who doesn't move well, which is why I knew he was going to school Jamal Hill. But Jamal Hill's not good. I can even put Jamal Hill here, but I don't think anyone overrates him. I think Khalil Roundtree is a little bit more like, oh, he's actually really good. No one says that about Jamal Hill. I think the cat's out the bag with Jamal, so I can't put Jamal here because, brother, who gassed this guy? Not me, not you. So, yeah. But last but not least, let's go heavyweight weight class. I got no other than Tom Aspinall. He's good, but pipe down. I try to warn people before the Cyril Gane fight that Cyril Gane's going to be his hardest fight. Please look at my comments when I made that video. Like, they're crying, man. They're crying. They're in the comments angry. And I was like, okay, we'll see what happens in the Cyril Gane fight. It was very competitive, like I said. Gane was way better at striking, like I said. Like, everything I said came true. No surprise there, brother. This is all I do. You know, you guys know this with me. I do a little bit talk and they come through. He's just unproven. Similar to Morales, I feel like he's going to have a gas tank problem. If you look at the Cyril Gane fight, how much he slowed down in 1 round alone after doing some blitzes, realizing, wait, why am I not landing on Cyril Gane fluently? Why is Cyril Gane's like timing so much more uncomfortable? You know, Tom Aspinall started to slow down considerably. So I'm telling you right now, the eye poke saved him. I think he's going to come back better in the rematch, but maybe try wrestling more. He tried to wrestle against Cyril Gane, he stuffed that, but maybe, I don't know, try something different or work on his wrestling or something. But just him coming off this layoff again and then eye surgery because he's getting that, like, I don't think he's going to be the same fighter into a sense. He's going to, you know, he's been missing out some prime of, like, the best part of his career just from injuries, whether it was a knee injury, eye injury. He's good, guys, but he's just not as good as you guys think, just so pipe down. Like, you know, I could definitely put anyone else, like Hair, too, but then no other heavyweights really hyped up. What other heavyweights hyped up? I think it's really only Tom Aspinall, so I think he's a little bit overrated for me. But let me know what you guys think. I think I cooked. I think this list was fair. You know, I know it's a little bit, the Jan thing might surprise some people or upset some people. But everything else I think is pretty accurate. Let me know what you guys think down below. That's it for me, and God bless. 2, 3, 4.